Hello, I'm Dorothy Rosen, and today I'm going to talk about amethyst. I'm a goldsmith in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and this is my studio, in case this is your first time here. This is my workbench. This is where I do things. So I wanted to talk about amethyst because it's the birthstone for February, which we're already almost a week in, which is amazing. It's also I'm starting to think of birthstones more as like month stones, or as they relate to the zodiacs. This one is this one is related to Aquarius. There are other things other than what the gem itself is that one could think about. Maybe I'll get into that later. So amethyst in and of itself is a gem in the quartz family. So it's, in terms of its mechanics, it's exactly the same as other quartz, like the clear quartz, or let's say citrine, or any of those gems in the quartz family. But what makes an amethyst is its color. So unlike some of the other gemstones, for example, let's say sapphires. A sapphire can come in many colors and is still a sapphire. Although in all fairness, a super red sapphire is actually called a ruby, so there's that. But we'll talk about that some other time. But if a quartz has the color purple, it's called an amethyst. And amethysts have been around for a really long time. There are some were found in grave sites that are from 2400 BCE, for example. So they've been used for a really, really long time. And today, quartz is not a super expensive gem, and I'll get into why that is later on. But there was a time, which is interesting to note, where quartz and amethyst, where amethyst was more expensive than rubies, for example, or even emeralds. So that was hard for me to believe that that's true, but it's true. It all depends on how much a gem is available or not. So, hi Shonda, hi Deborah. Oh my gosh, nice of you ladies to join. Thank you. There was a time, the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th century, where all of a sudden more amethyst was found, and with the plentitude of availability, the prices went down. The other thing that's to note about amethyst is that not only is it plentiful, that doesn't, diminish from its beauty, of course, but it's also, it comes in really large stones, unlike some of the other ones that are much harder to find in a bigger size. So, I keep kicking my camera. So, these are fairly big. They're definitely, they're bigger. These are checkerboard cuts, by the way. You see, I'm gonna try to show you. So because they've found, I'm gonna not put these in tweezers. I'm gonna use my hand because I want to show you this cut actually while we're at it. Hang on one second. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Yep, there you go. Oh no, I lied. It's not checkerboard cut because it has a flat table. I can see it now because it's magnified. Oh my goodness. That's it. Just a little amethyst. Thought I'd share. Amethysts have that purple color, of course, and I'm all over the place here, but the color obviously influences the price too, since we're talking about price. And sometimes people, similar with sapphire, actually, blue sapphire, sometimes people think that the more saturated a gem is, the more expensive it is, but that's actually not true necessarily, because if an amethyst is so saturated, if it's too saturated, it'll look almost black in dim lighting, and that's not desirable. In fact, nowadays, the lighter sapphire... amethysts are really becoming very popular. I recently made a ring with a lavender amethyst, for example, which I find really attractive. That kind of lighter color. Do I have one? This is a lighter color. This is a baguette cut gem amethyst. So rectangle, obviously. And that's that lighter color, and I think it's quite nice. I really like them. It's a little bit more I don't know, like delicate or something. But the amethysts that are the most highly prized are the ones that have a reddish hue, like a purple reddish hue. Those are the ones that are really priced the highest. And you can get very expensive amethysts too, depending on the hue, and then obviously and the size, also the cut. Colored gemstones are always cut, this kind of thicker they are, the more saturation they'll have. So sometimes cut a little different from like, let's say, diamonds. But I had a client in the other day who was wearing this really amazing piece that her aunt had given her, a pendant, and it had an amethyst in it, like this big. Like it was big. Very, very beautiful piece. I might make a little post later about it. I asked her permission if I could post it. You find amethysts in pieces that are, you can find them in cheaper work for sure. And you can find them all the way up to, very artsy-fartsy, very fancy, very expensive pieces. So they're all over the place, the pieces that you would find amethysts in. In fact, over the years, amethyst has definitely been used in crown jewels. It's been used a lot by the clergy when in the Christian tradition they think of the color purple representing the blood of Christ, I think, and the communion and all that stuff. So purple is a very popular color there in the Catholic Church especially. And so naturally, amethyst is definitely a gem that's used for cardinals and so forth. And crown jewels are already mentioned. And then, art jewelry. It's found in art jewelry. It's found in outrageous pieces such as Stephen Webster's. He's from England. All over the place. I think I already said that amethyst is in the quartz family. And what makes it purple is it's iron. It's very interesting. So I could talk about this all day. They're often in geodes, and inside geodes you'll often find the amethyst inside. And the way geodes are formed are basically by bubbles oftentimes in lava. That's in water, and there are these cavities, and then the geodes are actually porous. The outside of the geodes are porous, and over so much time, water gets in there and through there and deposits minerals, and those minerals eventually can grow into amethyst crystals, quartz crystals, and all kinds of other things. So it's very fascinating where these things come from. Speaking of geodes, let me show you something. This is my husband's treasure. This is a big fat amethyst. They come in these like very large, I don't know if you've seen pictures of, they come so large, the geodes with amethyst in them, that you can like go inside them. They're that big. So you can see here the tip of it. So they're all almost always six-sided, these crystals at the tip, and you can see that the tip is more saturated than further below. So this is what we think of as quartz, and this is what we think of as amethyst. It's all quartz, and quartz, by the way, is basically silica. Quartz is incredibly abundant on the planet, really abundant. It's in sand, It's actually also in my sandpaper, by the way, which is interesting. Probably not the purple variety. But yeah, so you can see that the tips of these crystals, this is how they formed, of course. This side would be polished, doesn't come out of the ground like this. This is how it would come out of the ground. But this side you can see is polished, it has a reflection to it. And you can see that the most saturated part is at the top. So this would be the stuff that would be cut into gems. And then again, I want to put my little magnifier on here because I want to show you a little, if I can manage to get your eyeballs on the inside of this. Just to try to get the light on. Hang on 1 second. There we go. So I'm going to try to hold this up really close. This may not work. But there are inclusions in there. You can see some inclusions. Just like all natural stones, they have inclusions. And they have color variations within them, and it's those inclusions and the color variations that will, sorry, my phone went dark, and that will also determine the value of the gem. Excuse me. Although sometimes, there's so much to say about this topic, sometimes you see, sometimes a amethyst comes with like a bit of a yellow streak in it, and that's then it, that actually has a separate name, ametrine, which is like a combination of the words amethyst and citrine. Citrine is also a quartz, and in fact, if you heat amethyst, sometimes it turns yellow. So some citrine is actually started out as amethyst. Also, interestingly, presolite is also an amethyst that's been heated. Presolite is a greenish stone. If somebody tells you it's green amethyst, that's actually illegal. You can't say that. So just so you know that. So yeah, these striations of these bands of more purple or less purple. Really wish I didn't do this. That's very common in amethyst. So the what's most valued are gems that are saturated but not so dark that they're look black, with a reddish hue and without any kind of color zoning in it. That would be the amethyst that's most valued. I know the other thing, I'm just so pleased that my husband will let me use this. He uses this for kind of spiritual stuff, really. He dragged this around with him. He used to live in Boulder and brought it with him. Here you see this part. That's an agate. So if you imagine this guy was in a part of a geode, so oftentimes the outside of those geodes, not the way outside, but before you get to the amethyst part, is often agate. And agate, you've probably heard of picture agate. Agate has a lot going on in it. What else? Oh yeah, in terms of spiritual, I don't know much about this, I'll be very honest, even though I'm curious about it, but it's related to the head, basically. The crown of the head, the forehead, third eye. That's kind of the spiritual, people who are really into gems as spiritual things, that's what they think of. And hey Nomi, here's my niece from Germany. Hallo, guten Tag. Grüß dich, sollte ich sagen. Sorry, there's a little German in there. So the other thing that's really cool about amethyst and where I am, here in my studio, is that amethyst has a Nova Scotia connection. And what that connection is that you can find amethyst here. And I have to admit, I knew this years ago, like 30 years ago when I moved here, but of course I wasn't a jeweler then. I used to go hiking out in Cape Split, which is just such an amazing place. And I know that there are lots of amazing rocks to be found, gems to be found, gem quality stones to be found. But I was only recently made aware again of the fact that there's actually a place called Amethyst Cove here in Nova Scotia. It's out near Cape Split, and there are some wonderful accounts from a very long time ago that mention this. I am in the process of writing an article about amethyst, so that'll be on my website at the it's my name .ca on my website at on the expert advice column. I'll post that soon, and if you do receive my newsletter every Sunday, then you will definitely get a link to that when that's up. And I'm going to link to all those amazing stories about Amethyst Cove, which has several different beaches and places within Amethyst Cove on the shores of Nova Scotia, where these gems can be found. And I'm really gonna look into that more. I'm very excited about it. I'm kind of dreaming of making some pieces with local amethyst. I would be. I don't know. I caught the fever a little there, but I thought that was really cool that that this gem is found right here. So that's kind of exciting. What else should I tell you? I know. Also, if you have a question, please, by all means, put it in there. In the comments. The thing about amethyst in all quartz, their Mohs hardness scale, you might have heard me talk about this if you've attended a few of these, is 7. And like diamonds are 10, and then it goes like diamonds are 10 up here, and then sapphires are like way down here at 9. It's a big jump from sapphire to diamond. And then it goes then the curve goes like this. It's like diamond is up here, and then sapphire is kind of here, and then it starts going much more. Boom, 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 boom. So, if you think about diamond being at the top, sapphire being next, then you have your topaz, and then quartz is the next, quartz / amethyst. And so that's kind of the border of where you want to, if you do have a ring with an amethyst, you want to make sure you don't, it's not that hard. So you want to, and that what I'm talking about is, with Mohs hardness is you want to be careful not to scratch it against things. Think about sand. Sand contains silica, which is what quartz is, and you want to be careful not to get sand all, like on your amethyst. It's the same hardness, so you got to be careful. I do put them in rings like this one, and this is a size 7. These are, they're such nice colors, and they're fairly affordable because the gem is not that pricey for me. This is a 7. I have 4 of them right now. The other one is out on a pick box, so if you ever want to try any of these, I'm happy to send them to you to try on, and you can, if you don't like it, you can send it back. That's called my pick box. You can look up about that on my, I think it's in my bio, and the link's in the bio. So this one, and then check this one out. I like this one. I should actually put it on. Maybe I will. No, I can't because it would be rude, because it only fits on my middle finger. Check this guy out. This is a 2-footer with a giant amethyst. Does it say here how big that amethyst is? That's got to be like maybe, I would say 7 mil or 8. I'm sorry, I should have looked that up. I'll show you closer. And, it's a nice color. It's very clear. Well, that's the other thing, of course. You don't want inclusions in your amethysts. But yeah, and it's, such a fun big ring. I have a client in New Brunswick other than Shonda. There's a lady there who really likes my rings, and she has, I think, several of them with big gems. And if you're listening, you know who you are. And I can't remember right now if she has one with an amethyst. I had one with a pear-shaped amethyst that was kind of going off the edge of the ring, which was really fun. But yeah, I think that's it. Hey, Manisha, hello. Manisha used to work with me. She was my admin help, and I miss her. And she just joined. Thanks for joining, Manisha. So I think that's it. If you have any other questions, please drop me a line, and I appreciate you being here. And if there's anything you would like me to talk about in the future, let me know too, and I will certainly do that. I'm going to keep doing these. I'm kind of having fun. So I will see you next Sunday, same time. And in about 10 minutes, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to hop over to Facebook to do this again because some people are not on Instagram and I want to, spread the love. I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Please take good care. We're expecting 2 more snowstorms in the next few days. We had a big one actually last week. And I think that was last week. If you don't get my newsletter yet, people are enjoying them. I can't remember what I'm going to talk about next week. I wrote it down, but I can't remember. It'll be something for me. We will be celebrating the new lunar year, which starts this Friday. It'll be the year of the Iron Ox. It's good to have 2 chances at starting a new year, especially this one. So yes, I wish you a good day, and please take good care of yourself and your loved ones. And oh yes, next Sunday will be Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll talk about love. You never know. Bye. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.